Designing a solar system can be a daunting task, whether you're new to solar or you're an experienced installer. It can be difficult to figure out which equipment is compatible for your specific application. Here at NAZ Solar Electric, we've curated a variety of kits for different applications to make this design process easier. My name is Matt. I'm a solar applications engineer here at NAZ Solar Electric, and today I'm going to help you plug into solar by discussing our different kits and their applications. So the next type of kit we're going to focus on are going to be our RV kits. So let's go ahead and navigate to those. Our RV kits are structured a little differently than the kits we've looked at already. They're actually structured in two different parts. We have RV charging kits and RV inverting kits. The charging kits are going to have two main components. They're going to have a solar panel or multiple solar panels and a charge controller to regulate the energy from the solar panels to safely charge the batteries. And then we're going to have additional components like wiring, overcurrent protection devices, and switching. So if we go ahead and look at one of these charging kits, we have our solar panel, we have our charge controller, and then we have supplementary breakers, wires, strain reliefs, etc. All right, now the important thing to note with these kits are going to be the wattage we're bringing in from the array. So this kit, for example, has a 200-watt solar panel, and then the nominal battery voltage of the system. So this is designed for a 12-volt battery system. Let's go ahead and let's go back. And let's look at one of these inverting kits. So let's go ahead and click on the inverting kit. Now the inverting kit is going to have a couple main components too. It's going to have the inverter and it's going to have monitoring. So we're going to have the inverter itself, and then these kits will have a Servo GX for system monitoring and remote monitoring. And then we have additional components, battery switching, fuses, things like that. Now all of those additional components are sized for the specific system. If we look at this, the important things to note are going to be the size of the inverter. So this utilizes a 3,000 watt inverter, and once again, this is a 12 volt. This is for a 12 volt system or a 12 volt battery bank. Now if we go back out and we scroll down a little bit, we can see that we have kits for different voltages. So if we look over here, we have a system designed for a 24 volt kit. Now it's important to pay attention to this because if you have a 12 volt house battery bank in your RV, the 24 volt kit will not work. You need to match the voltage of the kit to the nominal voltage of your house battery bank. But we have 12 volt kits charging and inverting kits, 24 volt kits, and then we have a 48 volt inverting kit as well. Something important to note with these RV kits is that we don't actually include batteries with the kits, and that's because a lot of RVs will come with batteries already in them. So say you have a 12 volt battery, well then it's very easy to integrate a 12 volt charging kit for that battery to charge it up from solar, or a 12 volt inverting kit if you want to upgrade the inverter, or maybe you want to upgrade the batteries and you're wondering what batteries should I use with the system. Well, in the related products section for all these kits, we have 12 volt batteries that you can incorporate with the system. Something to note with these RV kits is that they tend to be very complicated. There's a lot of different case scenarios that can come up with RVs and boats in any mobile application. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed with the slew of information that's out there, please give us a call. We're experts when it comes to this. We do this day in, day out. We provide free consultation, free design, and we'd be glad to talk to you about your specific application and put together a custom design for what you're using the system for and around existing equipment you might have. Next, we're going to talk about our EV charging kits. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Now, EV charging kits are going to be pretty similar to two different kits we've talked about already, that being the grid tie kits and the off-grid kits. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that in a second. So let's go ahead and pull up one of these EV charging kits, and let's look at the different components that come with it. So these are going to have solar panels. They're going to have typically a grid tie inverter, and the additional components we're going to have here is we're going to have a level 2 charger, which is a 240 volt AC charger. This will allow you to push more power to the electric vehicle quicker, so we can charge it quicker. And then we're gonna have an energy meter. And the purpose of this energy meter is to make it so that you can prioritize solar charging on the EV. So say you wanna charge only from solar directly, then you can have the energy meter control when the pulsar is pulling energy from the system, and you can have it configured so that it only pulls energy when the solar panels are producing. So you can have the EV charge purely from solar and not charge from the grid at all, which is pretty cool. With that being said, this type of system where we only have panels, EV charger, and wall box, we're only gonna be able to charge the electric vehicle when there's solar production hitting the panels. We have no way of storing excess energy produced. So say you have the system on your home and you drive your EV to work during the day when the panels are producing, and then you drive back after work and it's nighttime now and the panels aren't producing. Well, then we're not gonna get any charging through the solar production because the panels aren't producing. We have no stored energy. So if you want to have a system where you're storing the energy produced by the solar array during the day, and then you can use that stored energy to discharge during the night or whenever you want to charge the EV, then you'll need a couple additional components, specifically batteries, a form of energy storage. So if we go to this EV kit actually has the components required to charge your EV with solar whenever you want. So we have our solar panels, we have our grid tie inverter. We can still charge the EV directly from solar if we want to. But if the EV's not there when you're producing solar, how the system will work is it'll store the excess energy in the batteries, and then you can discharge the batteries to charge the EV back up whenever you plug it in. Now, these EV charging kits aren't only EV charging kits. So if we go back to the first kit that I was talking about, this system is still going to function as a grid tie kit even if you don't have the electric vehicle plugged in. So we're still going to have panels producing energy, we're still going to have the inverter converting that energy to feed your appliances and to sell back to the utility. The only difference between this and a grid tie kit is it has a couple additional components to prioritize EV charging when the electric vehicle is plugged in. So if the electric vehicle isn't plugged in, you're still getting use out of the system. And with the second system we looked at, the same concept still applies. We still have a system with batteries. We have a system with a grid forming multimodal inverter. We still have solar panels producing. So we can still use this in potentially an off-grid application or a hybrid application. We just have additional components to prioritize EV charging when the EV is plugged in. For more information on EV charging kits, check out one of the links below. We did a more comprehensive video on how to effectively charge your electric vehicle with a solar array. The last type of kits that we're going to discuss today are going to be the solar pumping kits. So these would be used if you're looking to install a water pump in a location where it's not very easy to get power to. We can do solar direct water pumping systems. So let's go ahead and pull that up. These kits are actually in a different section than the main kits. These are over underneath solar water pumping. That's where we have our solar pumping kits. So let's go ahead and pull these up. And let's start with one of these kits. So for the solar pumping kits, we have main components with solar panels. For these, we actually include mounting because most pumps are going to be in remote locations where you're going to do a ground mount. So we have a ground mount included with this. If for some reason you had like a solar pumping shed and you wanted to mount the panels on the shed itself, then we can adjust that accordingly so that you have proper roof mounting to get the panels on the shed. But if we look at this kit, it's pretty simple. We just have panels feeding power directly to the pump or a solar direct system. In this case, we specified the Grundfos pump, the 6SQF3. If we look at the top, there's a little blurb on the specs for this pump. So it's rated for 820 feet at a flow rate of 6 gallons per minute. Now with pumps, they're typically sized for your specific application. If you put the wrong sized pump in your well, it can be very expensive to put it down and get it back up. So for pumping systems, we highly advise you give us a call. We know the proper questions to ask, and we can advise as to which pump you would need. But in terms of the other equipment you need, pretty much everything else stays the same. We're still gonna have solar panels, we're gonna have mount, we're gonna have a disconnect, wiring and overcurrent protection from the panels to the pump. So all of that stays the same. The main thing that we're gonna iterate here with is going to be the pump itself. So this kit has everything included with the pump. We also have kits, solar pumping kits, that actually don't come with the pump, and they're designed to integrate with a pump maybe that you didn't get it from us, or maybe a larger pump, maybe a 3-phase 208 AC voltage pump. So if we pull up this kit, it has pretty much all the same components as the kit that we just talked about. We have solar panels, mounting, surge protection, wiring, switches, but in this case we have no pump and we have the infusion drive. Now the infusion drive, which is this yellow box here, is designed to take PV input, which is going to be high voltage DC input, and convert it to an AC output to feed your pump, whether that be 240 volt AC or 208 3-phase AC. Something cool about this infusion drive as well is it's a variable frequency drive. So it's capable of ramping your pump up and ramping it down so that we're not constantly starting and stopping your pump. So say we have a scenario where it's a cloudy day and we're doing solar direct pumping. What can happen is we can have good solar production on the array, and then a cloud passes in front of the panels, and then we lose all of our power production, and the pump motor essentially stops immediately. And then the cloud passes, and then we get solar production again, and then the pump ramps up immediately. That's not healthy long-term for the motor of the pump. So having a variable frequency drive, especially on these larger pumps, is very beneficial for the lifetime of the pump. These kits are useful for integrating with pumps that we offer, and you can also use these kits to integrate with maybe a pump that you already have that you're looking to power with Solar Direct, or maybe a large pump that you got elsewhere. But with these, I once again want to iterate, pumping kits are very application specific. If you have any questions, let us know and we can push you in the right direction. Although our kits aren't a one-size-fits-all solution, they are an excellent resource. They'll provide you with a list of materials that are compatible for your specific application. We often design around the kits for our custom designs. So for instance, if you called in and you were looking for a grid tie application, then depending on where you're located and where you're mounting the panels, then we would adjust quantities and advise on mounting from there, but we're still going to use the kit as a baseline. If you have any questions about the kits, or you want to know what needs to be done to have a design that meets your specific criteria, we offer free design and consultation. So you can give us a call. We can talk about your application and design a system free of cost. And then if you purchase the system from us, we'll support the system throughout the lifetime of the equipment. So that could be when you're installing it. If you have questions, you can give us a call. When you're commissioning the system, you can reach out, and any point through the lifetime of the equipment, if you need help troubleshooting or any technical support, then you can give us a call and we can walk through what's going on. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more educational content like this. Also check out the Learning Center on our website. We post a ton of awesome solar related articles there. If you have any questions about anything I discussed today, you can put them in the comment section below. You can reach out to us via phone, email, or online chat. We're ready and willing to help you plug into solar.